I just finished up working with a 3-month client that I had, and her goals were to shed about 25 pounds. She had had a baby a couple of years ago, and she was looking at losing some weight. And so we worked on that, and she got to her goal, and she then decided that she wanted to get more involved in fitness. And so she had been working out and feeling really good, but she wanted to take it even one step further. And I told her, without doing tests, without me actually being there with you while you work out and tracking all of these things, it's going to be nearly impossible. So, introducing one of my absolute new favorite new show sponsors, Inside Tracker. So, Inside Tracker is a ultra personalized performance system that analyzes data from your blood, DNA, lifestyle, and a fitness tracker to help you optimize your body and reach your health and wellness goals. So, if you're like my previous client who wanted to really optimize after she had hit her goals, she wanted to take it a step further. So, I told her definitely schedule the Inner Age Inside Tracker test, and there will be someone who comes to your house, takes your blood. It takes 2 seconds, and you will get your results within a couple of days. And I'm telling you, this is the most ultra personalized, no one size fits all type approach to optimization. So not only are they doing blood, but they're also doing a DNA. They're doing a saliva test to help you understand what's going on with your cholesterol. How are you doing with your biomarkers with inflammation? It goes into how you can actually fix these things. I know when I did it, it told me that my cholesterol had some issues, which surprised me. And not only was I just, I was nervous that I was just going to be sitting there with my thumb on my ass thinking, what am I going to do with this information? But they actually gave me tangible tips, and they check in with you almost daily for the specific things that you need to be implementing into your lifestyle. So when my client did this Inside Tracker test, she got her information and she found out that most of her levels were pretty good, but her vitamin D was low, iron was low. And so they gave her actual tangible tips. Okay, here's what you can be doing to increase these, and then we'll retest in 3 months. And they actually send you texts every single night saying, hey, did you do this? Did you do this? And you just say yes, no, and it gets you back on track. So I am so excited for this show sponsor. If you haven't taken advantage of this at all yet, this is your time. So for a limited time, you can get 25% off of the entire Inside Tracker store. Just go to insidetracker.com/hotter-than-health. Again, that is 25% off of the entire Inside Tracker store. I personally did the Inner Age, and it comes with DNA, it comes with blood sampling, and all of that good stuff. It is the easiest thing you will ever do, and you will get so much value out of this for your longevity and optimization. So let's stay healthy from the inside out. Again, that's 25% off of the entire Inside Tracker store. Just go to insidetracker.com/hotter-than-health. Again, insidetracker.com/hotter-than-health. Welcome to the Hotter Than Health podcast, a plant-dominant podcast and resource for those looking to expand and elevate their health. Every Thursday, you can expect provocative and engaging topics, entertaining interviews, and some of the biggest names in health and wellness. Be prepared for tangible tips and takeaways, and to fully understand what it means to live an optimized and energized life. Hello, we are back. I hope you couldn't hear that clap. Actually, I'm sure you could hear that clap because you can hear freaking everything on these headphones. I really have to figure these out. These are like $250 headphones that I use for interviews, and they're great for interviews, but when it's a solo episode, you can hear my mouse click. You can hear Jack tick-tapping along in the back, and I have to always take off his collar because it's all jingly, and you could probably hear it now. He's on his way. That was a rookie mistake that I forgot to take off his collar. But either way, we're here and we're back, and we have a solo episode. Again, I've done this since day one. I always say we. It's just me. Thank God for Dave, who edits the podcast now. He saves me 8 hours a week, but it's just me. We're doing a solo episode. We're doing a Q&A. If this is your first time listening to the Hotter Than Health podcast, welcome. My name is Eliza G Wellness. I am the host, holistic nutritionist, personal trainer, kind of. I mean, I am, but I haven't been doing it as much, and it feels pretty good because I've actually been able to focus on my own workouts, which is insane. I feel like as a personal trainer, it's like the least in shape I've ever been, which is ironic, but your schedule is just so fucked up that, you wake up and you have 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. clients, and then you're so wrecked and tired already that you like probably have other side hustles that you're doing. It's just a whole mess. So if you're a personal trainer out there trying to make it work, I am just so proud of you, and I hope you're getting good sleep, and caffeine is not always the answer. There you go. That's your unsolicited advice from the day. We have our Q&A today, and you all asked some great questions, and we're going to get into it. We have topics such as building lean muscle and clean foods, hitting your protein goals, regulating hormones, caloric intake, eating for your cycle, stress, food combining, business-wise. Thanks for the business question. And some of my favorite products as of right now. So I'm excited for this episode. It's been a little while since we've had a Q&A. We used to do Q&As all the time, mostly because it was just my narcissistic ass on the podcast talking to everyone every single week. And I think that it goes to show, numbers and don't lie, that everyone loves the interviews as well. But I think it's important to do these Q&As to make sure that we're getting out specific information. And it's my podcast. Like, y'all follow me. You probably follow me on Instagram. And clearly you see value in my perspective. So I want to share that with you all, and we'll move forward from there. I'm really excited. Also, before we hop into today's episode, I wanted to say thank you so much for everyone who has been leaving reviews on iTunes. If you have not done that already, then all you have to do is, if you have an iPhone, click on the little purple app. It's like 5 lines and a little dot, and you just click on it and type in Hotter Than Health, scroll down, and you'll see ratings and reviews. And we're really trying to build this bitch up. So I am going to read off a review from last week because, again, the narcissism is real. This is I can't read this person's name. I'm so sorry. This is a review from One McKenna One. What a name. Each week, Eliza has different guests, topics, and are all focused around nutrition, health, life, and balance. I listen every single week and can't wait for the next episode. Thank you so much, One McKenna One, for your review. Again, reviews are the single most significant way to grow the podcast. So if people are not if they're not specifically searching for Hotter Than Health, they might just be typing in health podcast. They might just be typing in, I don't know, inflammation or digestion or shitting while you travel or hormones or trauma, yoga, whatever. And we basically want to make sure that the reviews have keywords as well. So if you do feel the inclination to leave a review, writing things like nutrition or holistic or wellness or supplements, workouts, fitness, weight loss, all these things are super, super impactful when it comes to SEO and sharing the podcast. Enough about me. All right, we're going to get into today's episode. We'll start with some questions. And let's start with pretty straightforward, the question about lean muscle. So the question is, how do you build lean muscle, clean foods to help you hit your protein goals? All right. The thing to know about muscle is that typically all muscle is lean. There's definitely times when your muscles swell. So after you do an intense workout, let's say you're doing HIIT with weightlifting and intense volume circuit training, that type of thing. You're doing a pretty intense workout that involves weights, and you might notice that your arms are like swollen or bulging. You got that pump afterwards. So water definitely does rush to the muscles to help protect it, and it is a natural part of weight training and muscle building. Your body needs to repair, right? So you're going to feel that swollenness. A lot of people think that they feel bulky immediately after working out. Sometimes it's just water retention right after a workout, and especially if you haven't worked out much in the past and you begin working out, you will retain a little more water just based on inflammation. Your body's kind of adapting to it. So don't let that concern you. Slowly build and increase your weights and your reps over time. But if you're apprehensive about working out because you think you'll bulk just because you immediately do. It could just be because you haven't been doing it much and your body is using that water to help repair muscles. Now, if you've been working out for a long time and you're noticing that, yes, I feel so much stronger. This is what I'll say about 60% of the women that I work with for my nutrition programs and just one-on-one consultations. Steady plug right here that if you do want just a 1 hour consultation with me and we can break down a full on wellness, nutrition, fitness, macro intensive wellness protocol for you, and I can send you some things to incorporate, some supplemental protocols and different lifestyle adjustments, and we can look at your lifestyle right now. What can you change? What can you add in? That's on my website, so if you want to basically do what I'm talking about, then schedule a call. It's just under booking. It's just nutrition consultation. But if you've been working out and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I feel stronger, I feel really good about my workouts, I know that I'm progressing, but my body's not really changing. So that's when it comes into play that it's not the muscle that is the problem, because if you have a pound of muscle and a pound of fat, the muscle is smaller, it's just more dense. And also the muscle on your body, having muscle is a natural fat burner. Muscle is really challenging for your body to hold on to and store. So it has to work to hold on to it, right? That's why it's so important to keep fueling your body naturally. But fat's really easy to hold on to. It's also easy to burn. So it's kind of just like here and there, but muscle is definitely it's a little easier to lose, harder to hold on to. So we have to prioritize protecting it. And the more muscle you have, typically it starts to burn fat as well. And so that's what I mean by the phrase lean muscle. It's typically all lean. What I think is like the perfect combination, especially for women trying to balance your hormones, is figuring out your cycle. This segues into my the next question, which we'll get into, but a good combination of resistance training, weightlifting, steady state cardio for good fat burning. So I'm talking 30 minutes of a 3-speed incline walk on a treadmill every day, a nice walk outside, treadmill, swimming, running, something that's just steady state. You don't need to be doing sprints all the time. Although I do think that if you're in the right phase of your cycle, sprints are like an insane way to burn fat and build muscle. Those types of HIIT workouts are my favorite, and also incorporating some lengthening movements and structural core work like Pilates. So you're lengthening and you're stretching and you're actually just bringing more attention to your muscles and understanding, really feeling that deep burn. I feel like often when we incorporate like quick ab works, like, oh my God, 100 Russian twists, I genuinely could give 1/19 of a fuck about Russian twists when you're trying to go so fast and you're just moving, and nobody's actually feeling their abs work. So I'm a huge fan of nice long lengthening workouts for your abs. So you can do things like the Pilates class, which is something that I had one of their founders on, and she's so fantastic. You can look back at that episode, but the Pilates class is great. Mills method is great. You could also look at different YouTubes of just mat Pilates, and don't let the word Pilates fool you. You can just type in like ab mat Pilates and it'll just be a nice deep burn ab class. We're getting a little off track here, but let's talk about clean foods to help hit your protein goals. I am a huge fan of if you're working out really intensely and you know that you do want to get your protein in, this is not as big of a priority for everyone. I think protein is important, especially for stabilizing blood sugar levels and making sure your meals are balanced. But if you do have a higher caloric expenditure, like you're burning more calories and you're working really hard, like ripping muscles, they need more repair, then I would say finding a high quality protein powder. Again, y'all know this is not part of their like paid advertising. I think maybe I'd definitely fuck it. Organifi is 100% I used to work with a different brand and I liked it a lot. I really did, but it didn't mix as well. And the ingredients were still great, but it didn't have the glyphosate free and it didn't have the digestive enzymes that Organifi does. And that's something that I think is really huge. So finding a high quality protein powder to do maybe 3-4 times, I guess after your intense workouts, it'd be good to pair, just if you have some oatmeal. That's what I did this morning. Some oatmeal, some chia seeds for an anti-inflammation and digestion. organic rolled oats, some protein powder. I think that's a fantastic post-workout meal. That is a really clean way to make sure you're getting your protein in, and also breaking it up throughout the day. I don't think you necessarily need 50 grams of protein per every meal. And this is going to be different from almost anyone you hear from. I know a lot of guys they talk to, they're like, get at least 20 grams of protein in 4 or 5 times a day, or 5 to 6 times per day. And that might work for them. I think it just depends on your body. So if you're working out a ton and you feel like you need the repair, then absolutely increase the protein. So have the protein shake or oatmeal in the morning. You could also do organic eggs. I will do that. And I think that the big thing is to remember, like, not to be so rigid in your diet. If you're trying to be more plant dominant, but you're not totally plant-based, maybe add in some eggs, but have a ton of greens in there as well to kind of balance out any acidity that could be coming from the eggs. So that's a really great way. I love tofu and tempeh. I'll sometimes just slice it up really thin and put it on rice crackers after it's been marinated. I'll put it on top of salads. There's also great ways to incorporate small little bits of protein throughout the day. Hemp seeds on salads, handfuls of nuts, making sure that you are, I do fish sometimes too, but tempeh, tofu, making sure it's organic. The Organifi protein powder is my favorite. Use the code HTH. And then also I do fish. So we'll do fish probably 3 times a week. Tonight we're doing shrimp saute, but we do no oils. And I think there are definitely ways to make having some more animal protein in there clean. So no oils, don't fry it, and just stay the fuck away from chicken. And I probably will never change that. And I don't want to be dogmatic about anything in life except for like just why the chicken industry. I have a whole episode on it. It's just called the chicken episode. You can go back and check it out. Hopefully that was helpful. And thank you for that question. Next question is caloric intake. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because I think that so many women, I do think we need like a full podcast episode on this, but this person, it says caloric intake, but I know this person and they messaged me a long message and they were like giving me an anecdotal story that I think is very relevant to a lot of women. So I work with a ton of women who call me for the 3-month nutrition program that I do. And they have all said that they experimented with macro calculating and tracking, but it almost gave them disordered eating issues and habits. Not saying that this causes eating disorders. I'm not saying that all correlation and causation is the same. It's more just the fact that when you become restrictive and you rely on an external source to tell you when you should or shouldn't be hungry, that's when it becomes really challenging to intuitively eat and enjoy food as a whole. With caloric intake, I think there are some general rules of thumb that are helpful when you're trying to lose weight, because it is important. You're not going to be in a surplus if you're trying to lose weight. And I mean, if your doctor has told you that you need to lose weight, or if your hormones are a problem and you need to lose healthy weight just for your health, this is not like a phobia thing. It's just if it's affecting your overall health and longevity, it's time to act on these things. You're probably not going to be in a surplus. Things like MyFitnessPal, I will say, there's no one monitoring you while you're putting in your information in MyFitnessPal. There's nobody to be the voice of reason. I find so often that people always undervalue the amount that they're actually putting forth throughout the day and how much they're actually eating. Because 90 times out of 10, or out of 100, people say, oh my God, I eat a ton throughout the day. But actually, they're under eating, which could cause fat retention or weight retention. Other times, people may not be eating balanced meals, so they're just having like 5 scoops of peanut butter and then some dessert, and they're all over the place, and they don't have balanced meals, and so they end up just having like all of their calories coming from fat. There's not a ton of nutrients or variety or fiber or anything really nutrient dense. What typically happens when you go into MyFitnessPal is it asks you for age, height, and activity level, amongst a couple of other things. It's pretty general. It's not asking if you have thyroid issues, if you're on medication, or if you've had children. It doesn't incorporate any of those things. And I would say often women specifically they'll say that they're maybe less active than they actually are, or they will put in that they weigh less, or they want extreme weight loss. So there's an option of muscle gain, weight gain, mild weight gain, maintenance, mild weight loss, extreme weight loss. And oftentimes people think extreme weight loss. They're like, why wouldn't I want extreme weight loss? Well, because it's not sustainable. And if you want when has it ever been sustainable to do anything extreme? Okay, so what often happens is people will they'll get an image of how much protein, how much carb, how much fat to eat throughout the day to equal the amount of calories. This works for some people. I'm not trying to villainize this at all. This is just what I've seen. Often people will be at the end of the day and they're like, oh my God, I still have 30 grams of protein to hit or 40 grams of protein to hit, but I'm over my fats. But oh my gosh, this won't taste good without avocado. Or, it becomes this entire thing and we become very obsessive. And oftentimes if we go over our calories, then we feel like, oh my gosh, I'm this behemoth of a person who can't even stay underneath her calories, when in all respects, your calories were far too low. So if you're a woman of any shape, size, lifestyle, and it's saying 1,200 calories per day, chances are that's extreme. And it's not sustainable, especially in the day and age where we have so many decisions to be making on a daily basis. We're constantly interacting and stimulated. The goal is not to just completely cut out entire meals or cut them in half and then we're starving throughout the day and then hormones become fucked up. It's a huge, huge issue that thyroids and other types of your metabolism, other things become not paralyzed, but these diets wreak havoc on hormones, which can lead to extreme weight gain, metabolism can get fucked up. And I don't think that these apps necessarily cater to anyone specifically. With that, I would say that if you are interested in, I think it's good to understand what calories are, like how many calories are in a gram of fat, protein, and carb, just so that you can understand what you're eating. Like you might not need an entire plate of avocado, but you also don't need to be scared of chips. You don't need to be scared of all of these things. I think it's about finding balance. And so often these macro plans are for weight loss. And so they just preach protein, and they don't give a shit where you get it from. So they're like steak and eggs for breakfast or protein shake for breakfast or cottage cheese. And so many people don't eat dairy. And so many people are like, well, I'm trying to reduce chicken, but my macros said not to. Go with your instinct. And if you find that you are not great with these calculations and tracking, and you find that it's starting to morph and make you a little bit obsessive, this is the time to schedule a call with me and we can go over just the basics so that you understand, but you understand how you can operate without needing those calculations. And I would say stop. I would say delete it off your phone and stop comparing yourself to other people, because it's going to work for some people, especially dudes, and it's going to be fine for some people for certain phases of their life, and others it's not. That's the same with anything else. It's like some people just cannot pull off orange, and that is okay. Other people can, and you don't have to judge them for being able to pull off the color orange and you can't. Does that make sense? It's just not going to work for some people, and that is fine. Let's be self-aware and recognize. Holy hell, for someone who said that they weren't going to talk about that much, I sure as hell did. We're going to do an entire episode for eating for your cycle, and we're going to have Adelie Kirsch on again. She was on the podcast not recently, but about a year and a half ago, and it's just so important to understand where you are in your cycle. And it's tough, especially if you're on birth control where you're not really tracking, but there are still some signs that you can see to explain kind of where you are in your cycle. But we're going to talk all about like what to eat for different phases of your cycle and how to work out. I think that the how to work out is even more fascinating, because once you kind of get the nutrition down, you're like, okay, I can kind of figure this out. But the more in tune you are, the better your body will feel and be overall. That's another part of regulating your hormones, which is a question that we got. So regulating hormones was a big question And I think that a big part of this comes from having balanced meals, sleeping, regulating your stress, and not comparing to other people. Now let's get into the next question. And I wanted to touch on this, thoughts on food combining. You all remember, if you've been following me for a while, you know, a couple of 3-4 years ago, I started talking about food combining, which is essentially just changing the order of the food that you eat so that it optimizes your digestion and your body has much more natural energy. A couple of things. I think that this worked for me for a period of time, and I think that was good. It helped me to simplify my meals. I'm not even going to get into the details of it again because I think that so many people were missing out on like full balanced meals and my blood sugar was kind of going crazy. I was also working out a ton or I wasn't working out the same, and I've picked up more of my weight training and things like that, and I just feel better with more balanced meals. So as far as food combining goes, I think that it serves me in certain respects and certain times, but others it doesn't. So for example, I think that I still don't drink water with my meals. I drink it like 10 to 15 minutes afterwards because I find that my digestion is so much better. Food combining is a great resource and tool for some people. I think that for me, it was great for a few years, and I wasn't dogmatic about it, but I did notice that I was snacking more, I was craving more, and my blood sugar was a little bit crazy, and I was kind of having these dips throughout the day. And I think that by having more balanced meals throughout the day, so a little carb, little fat, little protein, and fiber in my meals has been a better fit, especially for my energy levels. Like, I'm a high energy person, not like, oh, super extroverted, but I have a lot of natural energy. So that's what I will say about that. I have taken off the highlight on my Instagram as well, just because I was getting so many questions about it, and it wasn't something that I necessarily think is the best fit for a lot of people. I think that it was getting to be more of a diet for people, and they weren't becoming intuitive. And I think that it was more just trendy, and I appreciate it, and I still practice a number of those things. But like, if I'm going to do fruit, I'll still try and do fruit early in the morning on an empty stomach, but I'll still do some of the berries and things like that throughout the day if I want to, but focusing more on fruit in the morning on an empty stomach for digestion purposes, and then not drinking water on an empty stomach. Ooh, it's 11:11, make a wish. Okay, made it. You know that I am the queen of making sure that I stay regular while I'm traveling, and having a morning conference call, even after a flight or a time change, just different environments when you don't feel as comfortable going to the bathroom in the morning. I am the queen of figuring this out, literally figuring this shit out. So here's a couple of things that I do. I actually have a trip planned with my sister. We have our first sister trip that we've done in years, and we're going to Mexico in a little over a week. There's two things that I'm doing. Okay, so obviously to prepare, I'm trying to reduce desserts because my boyfriend and I do desserts almost every single night, dark chocolate, and I'm replacing my dark chocolate, a couple of squares, and maybe a handful of other little goodies. I'm replacing that with the Organifi Gold chocolate. So the gold chocolate is a turmeric, cacao, lemon balm type of beverage. It's actually really, really good hot or cold. I prefer it hot. It just gives me kind of a nice warm feeling at the end of the day. It is supportive for rest and relaxation. It is obviously gluten-free, organic, and verified GMO free, all of these amazing things. So it supports relaxation. It nourishes your body with traditional Ayurvedic herbs and zero sugar. It's made with reishi mushrooms, which is known as the grounding mushroom for after a really long day. And also, if I'm really, really craving chocolate, I still need the taste of chocolate. And this is the creamiest, most hot chocolate-esque beverage that I've ever had. And I know I can feel really good about having it, and it's not going to stimulate me. Then the next thing that I'm doing is I am gathering my entire Organifi bundle to take on this trip. So I'm doing 3 things. They have an all-day digestion kit that I absolutely adore. So I'm bringing my greens powder, and that's something that's just a non-negotiable. I'm actually drinking it right now. If you can't hear the straw, I'm going to do my greens powder in the morning. I'll probably share it with my sister. And then what I'm going to do is mix my probiotics into my coffee, which I will be having coffee. I haven't been doing it lately, but like, hey, it's vacation. So I'm going to mix my probiotics into my coffee. And then throughout the day, I have packets of the Pure Digestion Supportive Powder. Again, this is perfect for if you're at the office or if you're at the desk and you're one of those people that forgets about hydration. This is something that you can just have. I'm telling you, you can have it on the counter, you can have it in your fridge, wherever you want it. Make it easy, especially if you're one of those people you like need a couple times per day to really hammer down this habit. So that's the all day digestion kit. I already have all of those things just put together, but if you want to make it easy on yourself, have them all together, you can get the all day digestion kit plus the chocolate if you're feeling like something sweet at the end of the day. But remember, you can always get 20% off of all Organifi products with the code HTH. These are my favorite sponsors. We've had on the founder and the owner. We have had on the CEO. And I'm telling you, not only are these great people, but these are incredible products. And I talk about these. I gift these to my family. I have a whole drawer of these things, and I do not let it go dry. I love these products so much. Organifi, please never drop me as a sponsor. You guys are the shit. It's 20% off of all Organifi products with code HTH. Check out the link in the bio so you can check it out. There's honestly nothing more important than taking care of yourself, because if you're not feeling your best, you can't be your best. Sambucol helps you feel your best with powerful immune support powered by nature's superfruit, the black elderberry. You know the phrase, the blacker the berry, the more nutrient dense. I think that's how it goes. But things like black elderberry and blackberry, all of these dark, rich fruits are incredible for antioxidants, anti-aging, and immune support. So I personally use the Sambucol black elderberry fizzy drink powders. I also use their effervescent tablets. These are really great for travel. I've told you before, I will be bringing these onto the plane when I head to Mexico in a couple of weeks, and I will pop one in so that I'm ensuring that I'm not only staying hydrated on my flights, but I'm also getting the antioxidants that I need to support my immune system. And I just really don't have time to be getting sick. I've got a busy week as soon as I come back from Mexico and moving forward, and I really just don't want anyone to get sick. Same with my sister. She's got a baby at home. I really don't need anybody to worry about not feeling their absolute best. So if you want to try out the original black elderberry, these products are incredibly affordable. Plus you can also get 15% off of your next order of just $9.99 or more at sambucolusa.com. You can use the code HOTTER for 15% off. And again, these products are incredibly affordable, so you get the most bang for your buck instead of heading to the store. Make sure you just order them online and you can get this awesome discount, 15% off of your next order, $9.99 or more at sambucolusa.com. Use the code HOTTER. All right, this one's fun. Business-wise, the mental ability to leave comfortable for the uncomfortable. This is going to look different for everybody. I think that we're in this time, and I've touched on this before, we're in this time, an era where everyone's working for themselves. Everyone's a coach. Everyone's quitting their 9-to-5 to be their own boss, girl boss nation type of thing. Sign contracts, get money, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's really about what do you want your life to look like? Like, what are your priorities? If your priorities are travel and financial freedom, not financial freedom, but if your priorities are travel and consistency and you have kids and you're working on saving a bunch, then maybe it's not the right time to necessarily go out willy-nilly and quit your job to go do something. But I think that it's always important to make sure that you're keeping your passions passionate. And a lot of times people become resentful of trying to turn their passion into careers. And after a couple of years, that's not what you want. But the grass is not always greener. Like going into owning your own business and having to create your own income, it's going to look different every single day. I have weeks where I'm so busy and I feel really, really like productive and great. And then other weeks where I'm like, wait, where is business? I need to go find it. And it's really tough. Like you have to create your own momentum. There's no one there to really push you along unless you have backing or if you have support in other ways, and money is not really like the main goal. But as far as comfortability and uncomfortability, this can also go the opposite direction, where it is so true that lessons are not really learned and growth is not really there in the comfort zone. What I mean by that is when you are comfortable and you're in your day-to-day, you're almost numb and you forget about the outside world and you forget about challenges. So when challenges do show up, it hits you like a ton of bricks. I think that you set yourself up for a little bit more exposure to adversity when you get out of your comfort zone. And that could mean anything from as small as picking up new weights, going to new workout classes, starting conversations with people, ordering something different, not watching TV at the end of the night and picking up a book. Like, challenging yourself cerebrally, intellectually are all really great steps to making bigger steps into the discomfort. So this person meant business-wise. I think that having the mental ability to leave comfortability for the uncomfortable, make sure that unless you were let go, or if I don't know if you have kids that you're supporting or a family, or if you're on your own and you are your own responsibility. Because if you're your own responsibility, it's a much easier time to say, you know what, I'm gonna go for my like nutrition coaching program. I'll get a job on the side to make some money to get me by. But while I study, while I do all these things and get my feet off the ground, I'm going to have another job. If you have savings that will last you like 4 or 5 months, we had Dan Callahan, who's a financial professional, on the podcast a couple weeks ago. Go back and listen to that. Absolutely, to talk about like how much savings you have. I would say have a good stable set aside for savings so that you know that worst comes to worst, you can't find a job for a couple of months, it could happen. You can't find a job for a couple of months, then you're going to be okay. I think that just by getting frustrated and impulsive, then quitting your job just because you're like super fed up, that's not necessarily the time. I think that decisions made in impulse are not always the best. I think that being a little more calculated with your plan and execution, have a plan, suck it up for a little bit of time while you save up your money and you start to cultivate an idea for what you want to do afterwards. And I think that it's okay to start to calculate your risks. No matter what, it's always going to be a risk because it's unknown. But at the end of the day, like if you look back, we're probably going to have 7 different careers in our life before we die. And if you're only on number 1, you're good. And I'm on number 14. So who knows where I'll be. But yeah, getting uncomfortable, starting by reading books and asking questions and getting curious is a huge way that I really got into it. I think that I was definitely forced into a situation, but I'm happy that I was. I'm happy that I have the experience that I do, but I definitely I need more. I want more experience. But if you are feeling stuck in your career, in your job, then right now is just the time to stay open and get curious. I think that often when we're really, really comfortable, but we're kind of depressed about it, it's easy to just go into our cave. Like you go into your routine, you come home, you take a shower, you make dinner, you walk your dog, and you watch TV and you go to bed and you do it all again. And then on the weekends, you get drunk with your friends and you're hungover one of the days and you're like, God, I wish I had been more productive, or like gone to the store or read a book or done some research on what I could be doing. So it's going to take some sacrifice even moving forward. I think that it's really important to get out of your own way and get out of your habits. I'm a huge fan of healthy habits, but when you become a slave to your habits to the point where you're not even like changing up your nightly routine. So maybe instead of watching TV, you go for a walk and put on a motivational podcast. You listen to this podcast while you're walking. Even right now, while you're listening to it, commit to when you get home from work tonight, hop on Pinterest, create a Pinterest board, or start to research what can I be doing to get closer to X, Y, and Z goal. Like people have had your concern before. Do your own research and figure out a calculated risk for your plan. So save money, have a little bit of a plan, and then take the jump. And if you feel like you're not deserving of this, or you're not worthy, or you're not capable, that is also inner work that you could be doing with, meditation and journaling, things like that. I hope that helped. And, this is where I'm going to finish the episode. Favorite products right now. So there are a couple of different products that I have been loving. Okay. And am I just like the worst or the best advertiser for companies? Maybe I'm just the best. So about 2 months ago, I was sent, or someone emailed me and said, hey, we have this product and it's kind of state of the art and we really want to try it out. Would you be willing to try some and let us know? I said, sure. It's been 2 months and I have been taking my vegan essential healthy cells. They're like a daily essential vitamin. As far as supplements go, I don't think that we need a million different supplements. I love my greens powder and I love this vegan essential minerals. So this is the vegan essential by the brand Healthy Cell. The code is HOTTER and you can get 20% off, but this is essentially if you're more plant dominant, the ones that I'm talking about specifically. So these are the vegan essentials and it's really good for like vitamin B, vitamin D, vitamin K. And that's something I always look for is if your supplement doesn't have vitamin K with vitamin D, then you want to be cautious about that. It helps with the absorption. But I just am obsessed with this brand because not only so my boyfriend, he is one of those people that has to take one pill at a time with an individual sip of water with every pill. And it's like, it's like a whole event. So these are liposomal vitamins and you take them in a gel form and the flavor is pretty good. It kind of reminds me of like a fruity yogurt, but the juice in the yogurt, not like the white cultured milk. But I'm obsessed with this. It's like essential vitamins and minerals for supporting a vegan diet. And I'm not fully vegan, but these are really great. Here's what I'll say about these. I have noticed, and y'all know I'm very open about conference calls of going to the bathroom. Normally with a plant dominant diet, like when you go to the bathroom, it's formed mounds. It's like mounds. This is, God, I can't believe I'm not single. This is crazy. So they're like mounds, but I would say it was about 2 weeks after I started taking these, and I've been taking them, I would say 4 or 5 times a week. So not every single day, but 4 or 5 times a week. The vegan essentials, mine have been like fully formed, beautiful, soft bananas, and not saying that I had issues before, but it just amplified and it really cleaned up the situation. And I'm obsessed with this brand because I also noticed they have some for sleep that are really good for supporting your REM cycle. They have a few that are really good for just brain computation. It's really great for supporting neural pathways and brain health. So they have a ton of different kinds. So whatever fits you best. But what I like about this is most supplement brands out there they're focused on just getting you the vitamin, but they're not necessarily worried about what happens after it goes into your mouth. So often we have this whole line of residue, and this is research that the company sent me, and I'm so fascinated by it. We're going to have them on the podcast, but you have sediment of this non-absorbed vitamin just in your gut lining in your small intestine. And so 1, it's basically corrosive to your gut lining, and 2, it's just a waste. It's a fucking waste. It's just sitting there, nothing's happening, and it's not being absorbed. That's why liposomal and the vegan gel technology that they have is really great, and there's no BS. Highly recommend. I'm a genuine fan. Once we even stop sponsoring, I will continue to take these products. So that's a subtle plug, but also if you're looking for a multivitamin, you can also take these on an empty stomach that I have noticed. Don't, quote me on that, but I take the Vegan Essentials Healthy Cell. You can use the code HOTTER20 for 20% off. Another product that I absolutely love is our milk frother. We just got one of I just ordered it off of Amazon, and I'll include a link in not the show notes, but I'll do it on my Instagram. So if you don't follow the Instagram at Hotter Than Health podcast. But what did I order? I just ordered, it's like this really sleek black milk frother, and it's just a handheld powered milk frother. But what I like about it is that it doesn't make you have to add a bunch of creamer to your coffee. You can just do a regular amount of coffee, decaf in my case, and do a little bit of I just use a little coconut creamer, and I'm talking 2 tablespoons, and it froths it up like a regular latte, where usually in the regular latte they do like a whole cup of milk essentially. But this one that I got is called the Simple Taste Milk Frother, and I got the black one. I really, really love it. Some other products that I have really been loving. Oh my God, Amazon is just freaking killing it right now. My boyfriend got me this set off of Amazon. It's the rust colored workout set, and it's fitted, and it gives me cleavage, and it's padded, and it's gorgeous. It's a crop top, but full coverage top, and it's like longer than a sports bra crop top basically, and it's so fitted. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, baby clothes, these won't fit. And I put them on, and they just suction you in, but you can move in them. I wore them all day, and the leggings aren't so tight that when you bend over, they roll down or they show your butthole. They're amazing. I'm obsessed. Super recommend the workout set from Amazon. Amazon has just been killing the workout set lately. So I have this like matching pair of leggings with the crop top. I got the burnt orange one. You can actually see it in my latest Instagram post and see on my Eliza G Wellness post. Another thing that I would say is a game changer if you are working from home is I have this little laptop stand, and it's so small that you can actually fit it into your bag. You can fit it into your little tote, and it breaks apart into 2 pieces. I actually saw 2 people at Second State Coffee in Mount Pleasant using it the other day, but it's called Design, and the D has an accent over it, DESIGN, and it's a silver laptop stand, and it's so small, non-invasive. If you have your laptop there, it just goes right under it. It's not bigger than your laptop, it's actually smaller, so it's not going to be intrusive or taking up extra space. That is a huge one. Again, it's Design, the laptop case. You've probably seen it in my Instagram stories, and it is just the best, you guys. Oh, and another oh my God, it's so good. And this is fitting for y'all. I am so sore right now. I can't even tell you. I did 3 intense workout classes this week, and only because I'm in the follicular stage of my cycle, so I have the mental energy, but I am so GD sore. I need to do the infrared sauna blanket tonight. I'm not going to do a whole spiel on that because it was in another episode. It's like the top questions of 2021, I think was the episode. It was another solo episode that we did. One of my other favorite products that is super fitting for right now is the Elta MD Tinted Moisturizer. Okay, you heard it here first. Elta MD Tinted Moisturizer. You will be a poreless sun goddess. It's the one I have. I just got a sample, but I'm going to order it. It's like 40 SPF or 50, and it is so incredible. I absolutely adore it. I've been using it for the past week or so. I'll go home, put some toner on after a workout, and then I'll do my oil mixed with that, and it's the dewiest, most adaptable, mild, like gets rid of dark spots, but you can't tell you're wearing makeup. It's just so good. That and a little mascara and your G2G, but it's the Elta MD, ELTA MD Tinted Moisturizer. Wow, she is just so good. Oh, also one thing that I'm kind of back into, I used to do this all the time when I was living in Arizona, and it's called oil pulling, and you've probably heard about it, and it's probably fucking gross to you, but I love it. And I'm trying to naturally whiten my teeth because I just feel like after so much coffee, like my teeth are a little bit stained. So if anybody's listening and you're a dentist and you want to sponsor some teeth whitening sessions, give me a ring. And so I just have been putting a lot of tanner on my face to increase the contrast. It makes my teeth look whiter. But I've been doing oil pulling. So essentially you get some organic, non-refined coconut oil, you do a whole spoonful and you put it in your mouth and you swish that around for 15 or so minutes, and it's supposed to pull toxins. It's really great for because coconut oil has a lot of antimicrobial and antibacterial benefits, so really fantastic for gum health. It actually helps to pull out toxins from your body and expel them, and it's really great for detoxification, so it aids in gut health. It also really supportive for your gut health, helps to whiten teeth, clears bacteria from your tongue, and helps to restore like the natural pH of your mouth. So this is a good one, and y'all know that I'm obsessed with my tongue scraper, so I'll tongue scrape and then I'll do my coffee, and while I'm doing my journaling and my reading and my meditating and stuff, all oil pull, and then you just spit it out. So you don't add water, you don't add flavor, you add nothing. It's just coconut oil. Swish it around your mouth. It gets all thin. It's a little less viscousy. It's gross in the beginning, but then you get used to it. And then you spit it out. You can do it once or twice a day. I love it. And it's also meditative because you just stay quiet. So also, if you just want to zone out, maybe I'll do that on the infrared sauna tonight. I'll just get my phone, zone out, swish, swish, swish for 20 minutes and spit it out. Jake is going to walk in tonight. I'm going to have like a jar of spit next to the infrared sauna. He's like, you're just fucking disgusting. He loves me so much. It's crazy. But either way, this has been a solo episode, one for the books. I'm going to have my vegan essentials. You can probably hear it because like I said before, you can hear everything on these microphones, but I've just been shaking this thing up like one of those, like a freaking, I'm not going to say that on the podcast, but a pocket something that men use for pleasure. Anyways, sounds like that, feels like that. Love it so much. I hope you all have an incredible rest of the week. Again, check out the monthly meal plan if you are interested in incorporating more plant dominance into your lifestyle, but it's just a subscription-based program. You will get a audio file with details about every single one of the meals and how they work, how they operate, best tips for nutrition and meal prep, and it's awesome. So while you're prepping, you can listen to it as well. But you get the grocery list, you get a whole meal plan for the month, and March will be out soon. So make sure you grab February. It's the 23rd right now. And also, like I mentioned before, you can always book a individual nutrition consultation. And if you find that you still need extra help after that nutrition consultation, then we can look at the 3-month option, and that price goes towards it already. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you rate us 5 stars, well, me, 5 stars on iTunes. Click the little purple button on your iPhone or your Android, whatever you listen to, and I will talk to you all next week.